Hi, Tasneem. I started talking a minute ago and then realized I hadn't gone live yet, so you wouldn't have even heard me. That reminds me I need to turn my own speaker down so we don't get an echo here. I need to get something smooth under my chair so I'm not always bouncing to pull it forward and backwards. It's on carpet right now. Tasneem, you are overcritical of your own work. You're so much better than you think. That's absolutely beautiful. I haven't even downloaded any of it yet. Since you sent it so close to class time, Uh-oh. Okay, I don't know if you missed something I was saying. I realized that I had the little circle going round and round, and somehow for some reason, I don't know if it must be my internet, my streaming software got disconnected, but then it reconnected itself automatically. So, did you hear the question I asked, Tasneem? I'm going to show you some eye candy at the moment. Well, I'm trying to finish getting my screen set up. Can you hear and see me? Audio's dropping in and out. I wonder why that's happening. Maybe since it got reconnected, I hope it's working. Hi, Carol. The audio's the issue. Okay. Let me... I hope you can hear me now, Tasneem, and everyone. Um, you're welcome. You deserve the encouraging remarks because what you're doing is beautiful work. And that is a wonderful motif you've made. I can't believe how well you copied that. Can you hear me any better now? I'm hoping. I hope you're hearing me better. Whoops. Whoops. I don't mean to leave you in silence. I hope you're hearing me again. Yes? Oh, great, great, wonderful. Okay, so you see this wonderful image in the middle of the screen. I thought this is so beautiful. It's A Tree of Life by Gloria Bass. And she's selling the pattern. It says designed by Winds from the Woods. I'm not familiar with her. I don't know if anybody else is, but whoops. Let's see, there's a bunch of different, I guess it's just colors and things. Oh, even this outside edge has got overlapped curls on it. So, what do you think about that Tree of Life? Let me get back to me. And how many of you have done Celtic tatting? Hi, Carol. I missed saying hi to you. How many of you have done Celtic tatting? I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me a minute. Yeah, it is beautiful. And the Tree of Life is a very common Celtic design. Anybody done it? Nobody's answering, so I'm assuming. I have to admit I haven't. And as you guys know me, maybe as you may have guessed, I tend to jump into things thinking, oh, this is an exciting idea. And I'm not really always prepared. And even though I took last week off because I wasn't prepared, I felt at all, I'm realizing day by day how much more there is for me to learn. I've never done it. I've read about it. I've looked at patterns, but not actually done Celtic tatting. So I am in a learning phase too. Just the overlapping petals. Oh, that makes me think, yes. Was it the tulip from the bunnies and tulip pattern? Boy, I don't know why my, unless it's something with the internet, something with the weather. I know a day before yesterday, we hit 80. Yesterday we were in the 70s. Today, we are going to start dropping our temperature. I'm not sure our high is supposed to be. It's managed to get to 64 today, but by tomorrow we may be getting snow. But just if you need it, I'll repeat things because I don't know what is doing that with the in and out. But was that the pattern that you'd done, the overlapping tulips? I forgot to pull up the link to that. In fact, I just watched it. Let me pull it up. Oops. I don't know where the window I opened went. There we go. Because the tulips and I've already got it. It was Kathleen Manetti's pattern, and in the tulip you had the two rings either on top or the bottom, whichever way you looked at it, as the right side, and then the center one was on top of the others in the picture, that her finished picture that she showed. And Tammy tatted it the other way. Tulips and also a flower. Oh, okay. And the reason I watched it again, I was talking to Tammy, and she couldn't remember for sure either about the joins. And because I've been thinking about joins, and I know that sometimes the alligator join is used. However, it doesn't make a true over-under join. So I'm wondering about other ones. Now, Ruth Perry, a couple books, Ruth Perry does mention the alligator join in one of her books, the Celtic Tatting Flowers and Leaves, that she's got. It's just a small book, but it's got some beautiful patterns in it. And the poinsettia is gorgeous. And it's really interesting the way she does this technique. I don't know if you can see well, but she's interlacing the outside leaf shape, and the inside has like a chain with just little flowers. Was the okay. I didn't, I know there are some things what was it that you weren't supposed to put it through? Can't remember now. The other book she has, I have her big book of Celtic tatting. I hope I don't know if the reflection is letting you see this. It's a beautiful butterfly. And then she has some other designs in there too. There is the, I can't see while I'm holding this up. There's the little heart, and she goes through the whole process. So, but I'm realizing how much I don't know. A lot of her books and her things are simply interweaving. And there are two different methods to make your Celtic tatting. And the one is if you make one piece and then just interlace it with the other, and at that time you would connect some things, or you can just tat a very long chain, and we're talking like 100 double stitches in a chain, which yeah, it is great, isn't it? And I've had it for years. I buy books to look at them, and I hadn't really read through it. And now that I've started really looking into this, it's something that I really want to do. I know I've said that about other things and haven't followed through, but I have an idea for us for spring and coming up for summer. Summer is right around the corner. We're going to get some snow here, but I see there are some of our trees are flowering here, so hopefully the snow won't ruin those flowers and leaves. I'm realizing how much more there is I still need to know. Mostly about thinking about different joining methods, because a lot of it isn't. You're tatting a big spiral and curling it around, and when you join like rings together, like if you have a ring and then a second ring. Well, no, you're not going to have a ring. You're going to take your chain. Oh, I'm going to show you that too later. Take your chain, curl it around, and then when you tap the next ring, there's a way to do it, and so the rings are connected together side by side, but the crossing over does not have any joins in it, which that's going to be fine for small pieces. But for larger pieces, I think you need some kind of joinings in everywhere. So we're going to talk about all that, and this is going to be more than one-time class. And what my idea is I want to start really studying this. I want to talk with Ruth Perry and get more information or any tips and hints that aren't in her book or that I haven't found online. And so I want to keep going on my project week by week. Now, if some of you would like to also do the Celtic Tatting and really delve into how we can design it, details, we'll talk about it, but it's going to take time to really, I think, go through it all. Or is there another technique or something that you would like to delve into? Because we don't all have to delve into the same thing. And I want to make this a challenge that goes from spring and then into summer even, where we really delve into a topic and experiment and can talk about the details of, like which joins are used and why, and the different technical things. And we can even do a class in the technique of how to do something in this class. We're a design class, but you really have to know your tatting basics. Hi, Kathleen. Welcome. And so that would be my challenge to you, is pick one topic or one type of technique or something, like I'm picking Celtic, and really invest in researching it and experimenting with techniques and samples and all like that. And we have a beautiful Tasneem, I didn't get your answer. Shall I pull up your patterns or what you've done, or is that for some time later? Or something you're keeping private. Designers tend to keep a lot of things private. So I always have to ask people if they haven't told me in their email when you send samples in for me, and please do that. I'd love to see even little bits of pieces that you've done. So anyone have a topic that they would really like to get into? And so every couple weeks, what we'll really do too is talk about each other's techniques and projects, and maybe just have a troubleshooting discussion session that everybody can say what's going on and what's happening. And so what do you think about that idea? I hope you are liking it as well as I am. And like I said, I will continue with the Celtic myself. And we'll learn a lot of design ideas, tips, and hints as we go. You've wanted to do Celtic, a wonderful, Carol. And like I said, you can pick any topic or go along with me with the Celtic. So I want to do just a little bit of history. One of the reasons, and this is kind of off topic, but I'm going to show you one of the reasons. I've always loved Celtic tatting, the designs and the overlapping, and finding out my heredity, my ancestry. I do use the program. I do use Ancestry itself to do my things, but I also use my heritage, and I want to show you a page on that because they have a new thing, and I have to admit I've spent time reading it and going through it, and I'm going to pull that up on the screen. Oops, that's not it. It's probably stuck on another. Oh, here we go. I don't know how well. It's kind of a faint map, but let me get to my computer screen. I'm going to narrow it down a little. See if I can get it bigger. This is my heritage on here. Now, what I've done is my heritage, you can upload, even if you have your DNA done through Ancestry, you can upload your Ancestry results into my heritage. Also into WikiTree, which is a free site that really is a good, if you're trying to work on your ancestors. But I've got, English 28%, so almost 30%, Germanic 22%, and that I know is really the English is from my mother's side. The Germanic is my dad's. My dad's grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, I actually came here from Baden-Württemberg, Germany. And his wife was French, but she has, some of her relatives are in the same German area, and she was actually from, I can't think of what it was, but it was right next to the border where Germany and France meet. So this is why it's interested me, because my third one is Scottish and Welsh. And the Scottish and Welsh do Celtic tatting. And I do have 2.5% Irish, because Ireland is where it really flourished and became much more prominent. But it is from an earlier, it didn't originate there. So I'm going to show you another map, and we're going to talk just a little bit about the history of it. But that's one of the reasons I've been so interested. My heritage also has a section now where you can go way back, and from the farmers and all, I should have shown you that. But, oh, I know, it's gatherers, hunters and gatherers, and the regions they're from and the characteristics of the people. And it's really interesting. At least to me it is. Oh, you're looking at my blank screen. Let me pull up the right. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to, oh, I gave it in the links. You have links too that I thought that was the page, and I think it was, but maybe somehow I ended up off of it. This is Coptic Artics, which is the Christian art of the Byzantine, Greco-Roman Egypt, Coptic Church. Anyway, let me grab my... I know you're not seeing anything good on the screen, but I'm going to grab my links here. Okay. And I didn't give you this link. It's called artincontext.org. So it's the http:// whatever, artincontext.org. And they have a whole section on Celtic knot history and symbolism. And the reason I wanted to show you this page, and if you're interested in a lot more information, this is one of the places where you can get it. But there is a map here. And that's what I want you to see. And hopefully it's in the middle of the page right now. And if I get this off to the side, so you can just see this one. This is the shows the Celtic expansion. And I'm going to look and see if you guys have said anything lately. Nope, all right. And as you can see, in this center area, European area, is where the Celts originated. Now, some of them they think came from the Russian steppes and way before that. But this is the Mediterranean, about 300 BC. And I'm not saying Celtic art started way back here. This is just the beginning. But it wasn't until the 2nd to the 5th century that many of the Celtic people moved into the British Isles. And so it may have started before that. This is another thing like the Golden Spiral. There's a debate going on between different fields, the philosophers, the anthropologists, and the other, about exactly when the Celtic art began. And whichever side you believe, some people talk about before and after Christianity began. That's one of the debates, and of exactly when it started. But it became popularized and most prominent in, well, especially Ireland. And it's big in Irish history and culture. And so whether or not it started back before that, it's interesting to me that the Celts came from this other area, and the Gaul area, and they went over here, they went down into Italy, they went off into the Asian areas, and it says up here, this is actually areas of Celtic expansion, and it mentions the Italians, Carthaginians, and there's a whole lot of history you can get into. But I just wanted you to see this to see where. And there is another technique that we're going to talk about that Celtic art uses interlacing. I mean, that's one of the main characteristics of Celtic art is the interlacing. And that has been done even back in the Roman area. The Romans were in the British Isles and up in this area, and then the Celts came in. And the Romans, I can't remember how they worded it. It became less Roman and more Celts, I think is what it was. Don't take my exact words for this history, but this is your basic idea of it. So I'm going to close that. Oops. I'll put up another design while I'm switching. This I didn't give you the link to. This is Ruth Perry's poinsettia design. And in the end, I will have all the pattern pages up. I'm using some of this today just for eye candy, and we'll go on to the patterns at other times. So I'm going to get rid of this one. There is, and I think I pulled that up a minute ago, I think I have all my links in order, and then I don't. And I ended up going to the Coptic art, because that's what I had up before. But I want to show you something too. The Celtic art page. Maybe I want Celtic knot first. Pre-Celtic period. There's a whole bunch here too. You can get a lot of this in Wikipedia. A lot of the history and all too. This on the left side mentioned the Picts. Now they do Celtic art also, and they're Scottish. They're the Scotland part. Oh, that's what I want to do is hide that. Maybe now it'll come up. Nope. Sorry guys, this just is, I look at so many things. Here it is. This is the page I want. It's under Celtic knot. All right. Notice this, and it says, this is a very basic, it says one very basic form of Celtic art, and then it says, or pseudo-Celtic linear knotwork. So it is Celtic style and the interlacing, but it's just plain interlacing, done in, I believe this is what they call the basket weave pattern. And that had been done in ancient times for a long, long time. Said the interlace patterns had its origin in the late Roman Empire. Knot patterns first appeared in the 3rd and 4th centuries. So there we're back before the Celts went into the British Isles. Oh, that's the style of your wedding band. Oh, you just sent me an email. And I've got an email from Tasneen, too. So I think today we're going to kind of get started in this. I want you to see what the true Celtic and what makes it different from your basic basket weave and interlacing. And so we'll get through that, and then we'll start tatting next week. And I gave you links because, like I said, I haven't actually done it. I've watched the videos. I gave you 3 videos that are all really good. And one is actually, well, Karen Cabrera shows working with chains and working with rings. And then in her 2 videos, she's also got a third one, the Celtic Picot, but that's going to be way later. And then I found the Lillian Tats one, and she actually takes you through tatting her flower design, and that is a really nice one. And we still even need to start with talking about supplies. So here's examples of them. There's some, once you get into the I want to say Irish, Scottish, and all, the Irish and all, they have basic forms of the knotwork. And the Celtic cross is one of the most common. And it does, in the center, it says a quasi-Celtic cross made of a large symmetrical knot with circle interlaced through its center. And so I don't think in tatting, I want you to know that there is some differences, and you can pick how you want to go. And because we can say we're doing a Celtic style pattern, or just call it Celtic tatting, does seem to encompass a couple different ways that styles that may not be true Celtic. And for a designer, you may want to do just that and not true Celtic and worry about the technical details. The Trinity, I don't know how to pronounce the Tequila knot, Trinity knot, is very popular. And here you can see there's a whole lot of different categories too, and that art in context is a really good one. There are a couple other good ones for history too, which we're not going to look at right at this point. Here we go, intertwining. I wanted to show you this pattern. This is Debbie Arnold's pattern, and we're on Etsy. She sells it on Etsy in her shop. And now notice the center does have intertwined chains. And there is some, let's look at I'm going to zoom in farther to get the very center of this. Maybe I can't zoom in any farther. I'm looking to see if it's an over, under, over pattern. The alternating over, under is a characteristic of Celtic tatting. I'm not saying it's not characteristic of anything else, but her outside one, I believe, is going over and under and over and under. It's hard to tell how many different things are over and under, but she has named this intertwining chain doily. So she skipped calling it any kind of a Celtic design. But if you look at it, many people would just say, oh, a Celtic design. But she chose to call it an intertwining design. So just something to think about when you name your patterns, and this is all personal preference, what you want to do. And some of the designs, I don't know about this one because I don't have the pattern. I showed you the Tree of Life already. I'm going to close that one down. I've got some different links that I didn't put on yet for different Celtic patterns in her her tatting calendar. So I wanted to show you this one just to show it to you for right now. It's a 2009, and it's from her WordPress site. I will just give you, after the HTTPS // it's TatCal for Tat Calendar, TatCal celtictatting.wordpress.com. And that's where her tatting calendar is found. And she's got a lot of Celtic designs there. Oh, Kathleen! Oh, wonder. Let me go grab that. Let me just finish for a minute here. Let me just see what else. Oh, Pinterest. There are a ton of patterns. Pinterest is always a good place to go and find whatever type of patterns you want to look at and the different shapes of the patterns. There are a lot of tatting patterns, Celtic style or Celtic patterns, some simpler than others. So designing this does take some work, but I don't think it's going to take, if you like Celtic tatting, I think the interest could keep you going if you're interested in, like I'm a puzzle person. Oh, you're using Celtic Picos too. Wonderful. I mean, this star is interesting. It doesn't have anything but chains all around. This different places you can get inspiration too for tatting. Look at this. It's a, let me see if I can get that more centered. Look at this quilled tree. Isn't that something? This is the kind of thing that people will tat a big doily. So I know you have to know they would like to tat other bigger things. And we don't have much in the way of tatting that's like simple, like wall art style things. Yes, I love quilling too. Sometime, maybe next week I'll show you something I did. It's not quilling, but it's I don't know if any of you have done the magazine art where you fold it into straws, and mine I flattened them and I made a really big plate out of it, or wall piece, circular wall piece. Okay, I'm kind of getting away from myself. Let me go and pull up. Let me find something else to put on screen. Here's another Pinterest with different ones. Oh, this is just Celtic knots and art. There's a lot of Celtic art that people are having for tattoos. Instead of tatting, we can talk tattoos. You can, don't see the quilt, just the top of an, it's not a quilt, it was the tree. Did you see the tree, Janella? It was quilling, Quilling, which is taking skinny pieces of paper and rolling them up, or putting them together like the branches of the tree. Okay, yeah, that's what we were looking at as an idea, pulling an idea from that for using in tatting. There's not a lot of tatted trees, only a few of them. And trees can be so different. Here's one, a Celtic snowflake that I think is really interesting. I'm going to put that up while I'm getting my email out. And look at here, this looks to me like they even made a crocheted center. That's another thing that you don't see much of, is crochet and tatting mixed together, and they used to do that a lot. And the other thing, tatting and needle lace. And I think we need more of that for the people who like to do more than one fiber art technique. So let me go grab my whoops, I better take that off of there. You won't see. Oops, I got today's class instead of, oh, I bet it's at the bottom. Oh, super. I'm going to get the other down. There are just a lot of, I don't think all of this is Celtic because I think I went from another page. But take a look and look at them. Here's the Celtic Trinity that I talked about in the center of this. Now this looks like the whole thing is crocheted. It's not tatted. But the crochet too can give us lots of ideas. You've been trying to learn Armenian. You know, I've seen it and kind of had an interest but haven't looked at it. That would be a wonderful, if you're trying to learn it, that would be a wonderful topic for our challenge. I don't know if you heard me in the beginning talk about the challenge, and it's going to be something we kind of start now, and we're going to continue through the spring, maybe into summer. And it's a challenge to pick a topic, a style of tatting, certain technique. Even it could be, it doesn't have to be a big tatted piece. It could be like experimenting with different kinds of joins. How the joins, are they straight? Do you make a join that maybe, I have a join that I joined with my chain becoming a right angle almost because of the way I made the join. You could just do a study on joining, or just do a study on something else and put together samples and things like that, and work on a design or not. So I want you to learn tips and hints and tricks with designing, get the good background that you need for tatting, at least in one area. And I'm doing the Celtic, and I think Carol said she was interested in the Celtic too. And you've been Armenian. You got books, 2 books. Oh, wonderful. Oh, Carol, you got Armenian 2 books. You too. I guess you have a choice to make. Start with one and then later go into the other. I think this is a way that maybe will help us really get to doing samples and trying things. In a second, we're going to look at Tasneem's too. She may have left by now. This is her time to sleep. So she doesn't always stay in class or come to class because the timing is not good for her. Is that a button you have in the middle? Let me... No, it's going the wrong way. Oh, it didn't like me trying to enlarge it. I guess I'm going to have to pull it open again. Oh, just a bead. Okay, here we go again. And this can get us into supplies. This looks like a lace knitting needle rather than a Celtic shuttle. You can use Celtic shuttles, or you can use these lace netting needles, which are very inexpensive. You can get them from Handy Hands. You know, the day I was trying to find Handy Hands Tatting and I couldn't, I forgot it's HH Tatting. And she has a new website, and it's harder to find things because the home page doesn't have a search box. Now, later pages, I'm going to go to Tatting. Later page, oh, I guess the home pages for each thing don't have a search box. Shuttles and needles, let's see if it's on that page. Or you can go to Amazon, but oh, here's the search box now when I'm tatting needles. Here we go. $3.95 for a set. Get them in different colors. They're acrylic. You can also get them from Amazon, but this is what they look like. And you need these because you have to slide the shuttle in through some very fine, they're small spaces. And regular shuttles just don't fit through. But a Celtic shuttle will fit through. I don't know if there's a Celtic shuttle on this page. I'm going to show you one I have. And there's the Celtic book. Notice there are quite a few other Celtic tatting books. Wally Sosa's. Come on, open up. Her design with the beads, this design, is beautiful. And that's got to be the other thing we talk about this summer, is designing with beads and working with beads. Yeah, I've got two of Ruth Perry's, the green book and then one of her smaller Leaves and Flowers of Ruth's. So adding beads in can make a big difference too and make a totally different design. But you do need either a, and I love your design. I love the color. Oh, look at there. I'm a green person. Oh, now you can really see all I had to do was use the scroll button on my mouse and it scrolled it up big. And you can see then with the shuttle and how it's wound. And you can see how, remember I said you can tat a really long one and then just weave it into a shape, which is really just using a piece of tatting turning it into a Celtic shape design. And Celtic tatting, to me, seems to consider both styles and types. The layering part where you make a first one and then you make a second one and attach it. And then there's also the way where you actually weave it in as you tat. And that's how you can get rings interwound and things too. So there's different ways of doing it. And Celtic tatting seems to include, that's where I want, all of the different methods and styles. So that's going to be gorgeous. Oh, and I love the, I'm losing words again today. This is what happens when you get old. Oh, is that the Celtic Picot right there? the start of one. There, I'm seeing them. I love that, Kathleen. How wonderful. You've got a good start then on the Celtic and understanding Celtic. So any tips and hints you have, we're love to have them, to know them. What I want you to do is watch the videos on Celtic Tatting. There are other ones too. You probably run across other ones that I haven't. You plan to use them for double joins. Oh, double joins. And I'm thinking of using like the tulip. You're a Celt, so a lot of interest. Did you just see the beginning where I showed my heritage and talked about the Celt history and where the Celts actually came from before they went over to the British Isles and that area? There's so much I haven't talked about yet. That's why we're going to keep going, and this will be my main topic. However, let me know what you're doing, and we will work your topics that you've picked into this too. And I think this will be a fun challenge going into like summer. Oh, you loved it. Thanks. Yeah. Oh, I've just, and I even got, I looked at so many more Celtic history sites and everything. Just, it's got me hooked. So this is going to be my first area of concentration and see what I can do. But I love what you're doing. It's beautiful. So the other thing I want to mention about Celtic style and the true Celtic work, and I'm going to look at my list of links. Oh, there's the handy-hand link. Oh, I sent you the link to the section on the online tatting class that has the Celtic patterns. Oh, that was the Celtic with beads, and we looked at that. We looked at Celtic picoas later. Oh, I also have a link to Croatian interlace. So, oh, and I don't think I mentioned that it was became most prominent in the medieval Ireland, and which brings you to the Book of Kells, which really made it prevalent. And Ruth talks about that in her book. We'll talk about the symbolism next week. But the other, I don't think I need to show you a picture to talk about it, so I'm going to just pull myself up again. And I don't know why it's gotten so dark in here. I haven't changed my light. There we go. The one unique thing about Celtic tatting is it begins and ends in the exact same place because it's an unending, unbroken line is what is the characteristic that makes Celtic unique. Endless loops, continuous, without interruption, symbolism of eternity and unity, which is why it is used for rings and things like that. Celtic meanings and all are all kind of the main one is interconnectedness. It's all connected, intertwined, and unending. So that's the difference. Like there's a lot of style plates, but unless they circle around, you have a beginning and an ending on them. A lot of designs have beginning and endings, but the uniqueness of Celtic design is the unending design. Oftentimes a Celtic symbol, it's put inside a circle, and which also is a symbol of unity. And a circle is unending too. So that's another thing of where even if we tat a ring and chain that we pull back into one and do a circle, you've got a Celtic design there to begin with. Because a lot of our tatting is our unending circular patterns or whatever. And to me, the going through it, a pattern, unending makes me think of the square, the magic square. So you have your path. Celtic paths are going to be a little more complicated, I think, especially in the beginning. It's going to be practicing an experience and especially drawing them. Now tonight in the Inkscape class, there is a way we can make Celtic drawing just 2 little clicks and it's there. You do need to check it, but so that's what we're going to do tonight in the class. And we'll talk about, I mentioned the Book of Kells, which is a gospel gospel book. I don't know if there's something else that goes in that description, but there's a lot of religious symbolism in Celtic, and it's a big part of their culture is the family and togetherness and harmony and equilibrium, symmetrical balance. That's a good word, and that's symmetrical balance is part of our in design. It's one of our principles of art is balance, and symmetrical balance is one of the main characteristics of most of the tatting. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're supposed to get storms starting. I think tomorrow night we might get snow and there's storms coming. So good luck through your storms, and I hope everybody enjoyed the class today. And if you're not really interested in Celtic design, I am going to talk about it mostly Celtic next week. However, we'll start to bring in whatever topic each of you is working on, or some of us together. So, and you don't have to think about a long project. What you do can be smaller. Maybe you just want to do, maybe, spend a month. Maybe you only want to spend 2 weeks. Make this what works best for you. Thank you, Kathleen, and you're welcome. I'm glad that you found it great, too. I'm hooked. So maybe I've always done more teaching than tatting, and done more drawing for designs than actually tatting the designs. I'm an idea person and a teacher are my first 2 things, But I love figuring out patterns, and this is really an adventure. It's the start of a new adventure that we can, do together and help each other out. So that's it for today. Have a good week. Some of y'all see you tonight. Have a good rest of your day, and bye for now.